Tawny would like to know the reason for the creation of gender-specific roles in societies. Why, regardless of their roles, men and women are viewed so differently?
Well, let's go ahead and jump on Tawny's question then, Bob. Uh, the this was actually a pretty hard one because it's a little bit vague and it's asking a question which is in the past and it's got a why feel to it. And it's something that I couldn't personally just chuck out an answer with any degree of certainty, so I went ahead and had to talk to a couple of people who I'm associated with different specialties. I talked to two sociologists, one evolutionary psychologist, and one evolutionary anthropologist. And I went ahead and went with the answer that sort of has a commonality to it. Before I do anything, I do say anything about what we were able to determine. I'd like to point out I'm not a negative anymore. That's because of the amount of feedback I got about the negative filter actually making it hard to concentrate on what's being said. So not only am I willing to effectively repurpose the red robot, but I'm also willing to drop the negative filter, so to speak. Now, with Tawny's question, why is it that men and women have different roles in society? Why, no matter what the culture is they usually are viewed very separately? It's probably because they're different. Men and women are different. They have different limitations. And from everybody that I'm talking to historically, that would date all the way back to the time when there were hunter-gatherers and that was the nature of the beast. Well, those differences actually can be boiled down to two general points. One are the physical differences. It's not necessarily a matter of men are stronger or more resilient, which isn't always the case, but it comes down to when hunting, women bleed once a month, and during that time period, it would make it a lot harder for them to sneak up on something in the wild. Also, if a woman is pregnant, it would be a downtime when she would not be able to hunt effectively, at least during the later stages, and still effectively take care of the child. The other point that was brought up, which I thought bore a lot of credence, was the concept that the maternal instinct is much stronger in the female than it is in the male, although it does exist in both. There's a question of primary caregiver at that point. Now, some cultures do have the men taking care of the children, but only trusted men who are members of the tribe, and even then, there's usually a lot of give and take between the woman and the man in that situation. The expectation is that the mother would actually feel more comfortable or would look at it as crazy in terms of trusting her child to someone else at that point in terms of care, when it would be much easier for the male to go out for long periods of time hunting for food. That, in a nutshell, is what we've been able to come with. Now, I'm sorry it took me 4 weeks to get on this, but the more people that I have to contact about a question and get feedback from them, the more time it is going to take. In addition to which, we have also been looking at a lot of reformatting, not the least of which has been this filter, the robots, and we're also looking at an editorial section which should be launching very shortly. The opinion section and the StarCraft videos are not sponsored. They are simply personal, and that's pretty much it. I do also want to warn people, if we do an editorial or opinion video series, it will not be the happy, happy, joy, joy, let's get along with everybody type of thing that we're doing now. So bear that in mind. I do want people to recognize the distinction between the two, because I do have a tendency to go on a rant.
I suppose I should have seen that answer coming, but I was too busy shopping online at exoticenvy.com for adult toys. I need to save all of the money I can, especially since I'm made of old boxes and an outdated Apple computer.